Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
We got a surprise this morning.
we do.
Rain.
Oh, yeah. Like the forecast said nothing about rain, and it's raining.
But I see blue skies coming behind it, so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be windy, but
Be honest, we kind of needed some, though. We've been a hot minute without some rain.
Mm-hmm.
I think, over Thanksgiving weekend, we had like 1 day of rain, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, we're recovering from a very exciting night of bingo.
I mean, not that we won. It was just the fact that we went.
Yeah.
Yeah, bingo, I don't know, to us, and I know we sound 90, but a lot of you talked about it too, that you like bingo. I don't know, it's like, to me, it's like fishing, right? Never a bad day, or being on the water, I guess. Not even fishing necessarily, but just...
Oh, I don't know if I could compare being on the water to...
Well, but it's one of those, it's that
bingo.
same thing, right? You never have a bad time on the water, and we never have a bad time in bingo.
No.
Even if, oh man, we were close.
Oh, yeah.
As in we, I mean me and my daughter.
I never win. It's just one of those things.
I did week and a half ago when we went.
Yeah. But it's just kind of nice to get out of the house because since we don't really go to town much, this is it. We're here, you know? But, so yesterday, well, actually, no, a day and a half ago, I had to make freezer space to try to make room for the harvest trays. And so I pulled out a bunch of, I keep all my scrap vegetables and things like that I'm going to make chicken stock with. And Aunt Swami, last Thanksgiving, had put all their leftovers in a freezer bag and put it in the freezer. And that was still in there. And I'm like, I ain't going to eat it, but I can make turkey stock. And yeah, so I was able to clear out the freezer. And I actually did this one a little different than I do the other ones because I didn't have a lot of backup stock to make. So I just went ahead and slow cooked it for like 16 hours. Then I ran a pressure cycle. And oh my gosh, look at this. It is the richest turkey broth.
Just look at it. Just look at it. Look at them chickens. They're just having fun. I started letting them out again.
Oh, this one didn't even seal. That's why it leaked at me.
We,
2 of them.
3?
3. Lovely. I gotta reprocess these. Which is really funny because I ran out of my saffron and sage lids. And I pulled out ball lids.
Yeah, somebody had just asked what kind of lid you preferred, and I put the comment on there because I'm pretty sure it's on our Amazon wish list, which we don't promote or talk about a lot because it's just there. But we do have one down in the description, and those are the ones that we end up using, is what we get off the old Amazons.
I guess time to reprocess these. That's just frustrating. Yeah, these are ball lids. And I might have a random saffron and sage that doesn't seal. But
Well, I guess the only other thing we have left are the ball lids.
I know.
What are these? Are these used?
No.
No, these ones.
Those
those
were just extra ones that I might have prepped.
are a ball. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the chickens are fighting over a little piece of
Something or other.
something or other.
Yeah. But no, we had the chickens locked up for, I don't know, 3-4 days. Because they're just not... Which, I guess probably it's because of the breed and we're used to the ices so that lay every day. But still, to have... What? Well, if there's 13...
Well, 2 are roosters, though. 11.
Well, right. So 11 hens out there, and we're only getting 2 eggs a day if we're lucky.
You know what? The lovely people can't see what we're doing. Maybe you were right. Let's lower the camera just a little. Hold on to your seats, folks. You're going for a ride.
I know. Did you hear it? I heard it. She said
right.
I was right. Because
y'all
don't see everything that happens behind the scenes. And when I set up a camera and I'm like, all right, it's all great. And then she goes over and she's like, no, you're a soup sandwich. We need to fix this. And in the end, after she's all her adjustments, it's pretty much back where I put it. All right, let's try to lower you
Okay,
down
hold on. Grab your seats.
without a hand crank
We keep it real here.
or pour.
Because you guys do want to see, I think, what I'm doing. Drop down. A little more. Keep going. Keep going.
Hey, now you're getting
going.
needy.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm at the bottom.
Okay, short of adjusting the legs, that's just going to have to work.
Well, what if I tilt it? Well, what are you doing? There we go. They can see that.
All right, let's boil those lids and boil those. That's crazy. There was a whole thing I was getting videos on about like the ball lid controversy, you know, and how they're thinner and the rubbers are thin. Like, I don't know what's true about that, but that's frustrating.
How do you know when a pineapple is ripe?
I don't know. We got the pineapple for freeze drying.
Yeah.
Which right now we've got.
Did you make? Oh, you did make one.
I did, and a splash of Mexican vanilla in the grounds.
You did what?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm about to have a Rice Krispie treat for breakfast. Yay!
No.
Oh, not a good plan?
No. Y'all, he's got such a sugar issue. I think he needs to go to Sugars Anonymous.
I know exactly who I am and what sugar looks like. Why does that have to be anonymous?
But today we have some prep work to do. I know you guys can't see it and I ain't gonna show you, but over there I got a hot mess I need to clean up. Because all my like tincture stuff and lotions and potions, containers, jars, like all of that is just like, just.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we had cleaned that table off at one point.
Thanksgiving.
And we were like,
Far back,
this is a great time. We're going to pull it out. Well, yeah, actually I think it was, right? We did it in prep of Thanksgiving. And then turned around and it needed it. Luckily it was there because we had to put some of the food on there because we just, we laid everything out as buffet style. Because you can't sit in here, right? Oh, the two of us can. But anybody more than two people, you can't sit in here and eat. But we had made that front room over in the studio open. And so we put one of our banquet tables up and it worked out amazingly to be able to be over there. So we needed that table for the food. Because the other option was try to shuffle everything out there. And it was like, why? Just keep the food in here. It's in the house. It'll stay warm.
But
it took me a minute while I was talking to them. I wonder why you handed me that bowl, and then I realized it was because it was for the mixer.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't go with the rest of them.
I mean, they know we enjoy.
I'm mad it rained because I didn't cover the pizza oven.
Hey, you said you were going to cover it for like 4 days.
Yeah, but it wasn't supposed to rain for I mean, it's stainless steel. It's not going to hurt. But.
Right. But, no, so, we've got some prep work to do today. Because we're going to have a busy weekend.
Well, of course. It's the weekend.
Right?
Hold up. Are you trying to melt your rubber seal?
Oh, no.
I mean, luckily it wasn't getting too hot, but...
All right. I'll give those to you down below. We have... Oh, while you're down there.
Wait a minute. That seems like it was a setup.
So... Chloe's parents do a Christmas thing every year for the community, and so we're actually going to be going to that tomorrow night and fellowship with them, and then we have a guest coming in this next weekend, and tomorrow, yes, Danielle's coming for the weekend again, yay, and we're just gonna have a blast, and probably do a bonfire. We already knew that, of course, it's become a staple now. We're doing the pizza parties with the wood-fired pizza oven. And so yesterday I made up what will be 8 pizza doughs. A lot. So got that done. So those are in the fridge. and doing their bulk fermentation, all ready to roll for pizza nights again. And then Eric and Missy will be here Sunday.
Well, I don't know. When I had talked to him, of course, with him being on the road, the plan is to be back home at a certain time, but reality sometimes settles in, and you're like, oh, I thought I could make all that, and then, well, you don't because of traffic and rerouting or, construction, whatever. There's always something that could possibly when you're on the road. So, potentially they're coming Saturday to just hang out for the afternoon, evening. If not, maybe Sunday. We're going to play it by ear. We had called them because we were actually going to turn it into a block party, right?
Yeah, I really want to do the block party.
But of course, I have to let everybody know because I'm sure you're doing the same thing, right? You're like, cool, block party. You're going to have all your neighbors there, blah, 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 right? You're thinking block party back when you lived in the suburbs. And you're like, hey, and I'm like, a block party? Like, the only neighbor we talk to is Al, and we don't like the other one. And, well, we don't know the other one. So it was like, that's going to be a kind of a boring block party. And then she's like, no, dum-dum. The block. Take down the foundation block. Mm-hmm. And, at least as much of it as we can. And I'm like, oh. That kind of block
what's
party.
The thing that we always say? Many hands makes light work, right? And it's a hard work, but when you're up and down on the tractor, and so the more people we have, the quicker it may happen. And I was trying to get it organized this weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think, everyone's kind of scattered this weekend as far as, Jacob and Chloe and Jenna, Eric and Missy, because Eric's on the road. So I think if it happens, it happens. If not, whatever. But I want to get greenhouse stuff done. So today I would like to also, we got to get the Nugget 2.0 ready for Danielle. And then I want to get the wood burner in the greenhouse because I really, really, really need to be in there planting plants and getting that all squared away.
We had a lot of comments too. I don't know how many of them you read through, but there was a lot of comments about reserve heat sources in there because the wood stove we're putting in there isn't one of those that pretty much it's going to go cold as soon as the fire's out, and it's not really big enough. Even if we packed it, I don't think it's going to burn all night long. So,
no, it's just a real small...
Right. But we've been getting a lot of good suggestions on different things to try to kind of basically making little radiant heaters or heat sources. Something that'll heat up while the wood stove's running, but it's going to hold that heat a lot longer and let it dissipate out to where, during the super cold days where we have multiple days in a row that's, freezing or below, and we need to keep some heat in there, those would be one that, hey, we can go to bed, have it stocked full, get up in the morning, and at a minimum, have coals in it, hopefully, but probably not. I mean, just knowing that small of a wood stove, they'll restart it to heat it up.
Yeah, I do have plans for a more elaborate heat system. Prior to me meeting Jason, I was all about the earth ships, and our house was supposed to be a straw bale house. Earthenware, rocket mass stoves, all of those things. And when we build the main greenhouse, I want to try to incorporate some of those things because honestly, those were my passions long before building with wood. Building with wood, then I went that route, and now I'm back to, whatever. But I think it would be really cool to work the wood burner stovepipe in through a rocket mass heater, which would then give us that thermal insulation and heat that would maintain itself throughout the night.
Yeah.
Are you lost, babe?
I am. Well, because you talk about rocket stove, and I'm like, that's not those are quick burn, but then you're, I don't know, some of the
a rocket mass stove is way different.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I don't know how soon we'll get to. I mean, obviously, we've got some time. We were actually just looking at it. Hard to believe that a week from today is Christmas. And we were looking at our weather forecast just out of curiosity. Obviously, you know, keeping in mind that we want to get some work done outside, that kind of stuff. So looking at the weather, and it's supposed to be 74 degrees on Christmas. And for those of you that
Christmas.
Yeah, those of you that love a white Christmas, too bad, so sad. It ain't happening here in Arkansas. We're not mad at it at all. I'm all about it. If I could be outside in a dang t-shirt on Christmas Day, heck yes. Please, please, please. That's what the television's for. You can just watch the Hallmark Channel and see snow. Like, I got enough family up north too. If they're going to have the white Christmas, they can send me pictures. And I can be warm in my t-shirt looking at the pictures they sent me.
Yeah.
Totally fine with it.
We're still not sure who all's going to be here for Christmas either. Probably need to touch base with Zach and Holly and see whether or not they plan on coming down.
This thing was laying there, but like you wrote on it, and the writing actually.
Oh, yeah. Those are some big jalapeno seeds. So in the freezer right now, we have all of my tomato scraps from processing, so the seeds and the skins, as well as all my peppers, or sliced or whatever. I think I talked about this. Was it alive? Maybe alive. I don't know. And that's on extra dry time right now. And then...
Because those are going to get ground up to be your powders.
Correct.
A lot of you had talked about that even when we were doing the processing a couple times. It was like, hey, you should, dehydrate that, blah, blah. And there were a bunch of it that we didn't. Just because we knew we had a bunch packed away in the freezer already. And freezer space has been limited. So luckily this batch kind of opened up the freezer in the house some. So now we need to go look at the stand-up, because that's going to be another transition that needs to happen here soon. So our freezers right now, which I know they're not running as efficient as they possibly can because they're technically outside. They're under protection of rain, so they're not getting rained on. But one's in a Harbor Freight shed and one's under the awning of the Cougar, our other fifth wheel that Jenna's staying in. So they're out in the elements and they're working. It's great. We're not having any issues in that aspect, but they do not run as efficient because they're built to be in a climate-controlled environment. So,
and we're bringing them into the YouTube studio.
Yes, and that's kind of where I was going with that. Was there? We're on the debate right now because we're on a holding plan, right? We've kind of talked about it a little bit with the smart budgeting and trying to put money away for some things. We're not really trying to spend a lot. In the studio, it's wired, it's insulated. It's just not drywalled or finished or anything.
So do we move the stuff in now?
Yeah, so we're trying
to make it usable, or do we just move stuff? Or, if we move it in now, we're just gonna have to move things around.
And that's what we're trying to eliminate.
But also Jenna's schedule too.
Right. Bringing in a bunch of stuff that's going to be in the way. But at the same time, we kind of need it in there. Especially now, more than ever, because of the freeze dryer. And we actually did see during this cycle that starting items frozen, which it's not uncommon knowledge. Anybody that has the harvest rights or any kind of freeze dryer, that has been the consistent recommendation on all of them is pre-freeze everything that you can. We wanted a trial on the first one, and it worked flawlessly. It just took a lot more time. But yes, pre-freezing it definitely cut the time down in that process. So the idea is to get the stand-up freezer in the studio next to the freeze dryer so that we can take the trays, pre-stack them. And actually, when we bought it from Ryan, he'd already had the little stacker plates. There's little corner pieces so you can stack multiples in your freezer. So my plan is to go through that freezer, which needs to be done anyways, and pull what we think the stuff we're going to use more frequently, pull that into the house freezer here, because now that's pretty cleaned out, and open up one entire shelf in that stand-up freezer just for pre-freezing the freeze dryer trays. Hand you what?
No, I got it.
What are you making?
I was thinking we could have some French toast with my honey wheat bread.
Oh.
Yes.
You had me at syrup.
I'm sure. I need to refill all my spices. So when Danielle comes this weekend,
I need to use this.
we have. Will you get my? Yeah. We have a couple things that we want to get done. So Danielle and I are probably going to do a little bit of thrifting because she's got some items she's specifically looking for. And then we have gift baskets that we want to make up. So we may be doing some of my tinctures and whatnot there. And then, what else did we want to do? We're going to have a bonfire. We're going to have a pizza party. I know that there's...
Which I've got some stuff. Well, and that's something that I didn't film it. I did talk about it in what we filmed yesterday. Yeah, so my tractor tire, I had to go get that back yesterday because the one front tire had been it'd been taking about a week, but it would go flat. And you know how hard it is. I know you need to do that. I get it. But how do you mix eggs quietly? I don't think you can. It's just my brain starts going squirrel mode. No, so this tire's been going flat for probably a year, really. Just if I didn't put air in it for a week, it would be flat. I put air in it, it lasts a week, we're fine. But the last time that I did that, I used it for the day. And then, I came out the next morning and that thing's sitting on the rim again. And I'm like, okay, enough's enough. I've been putting it off probably way longer than I should have. Obviously, doing that method for a year. But, so I pulled that tire off, took it up to the tire shop. And, they were able to actually patch the tube. So that's back up and running, which is good because... You know, the tractor might sit there for a while, right? We might go a whole week and never even fire it up. But then the times that it's down and you're like, ooh, I can't move it, you'll find out you really need it. And so, I've got...
Same way with the backhoe, same way with the bush hog.
Right. I was actually looking at stuff this morning to see if maybe it was going to be cheaper in the long run just to buy another used bush hog. But, I don't know what that's looking like right now. I kind of want to take it off because I know I've got them 2 cylinders for the backhoe that need to come off, and probably going to take them up to Hirsch and just have them rebuild them. And because I think in the long run that's going to be my cheapest option. The baby dog's down here.
Oh, careful, she may hit the tripod.
And
come on.
But I want to talk to him. I don't know if they'll rebuild that. Come on, calm down. You're covered in... Seriously. We have to have discussions about this. Oh my gosh. Nothing like muddy paw prints all over your clothes for the day. No, I want to see about just getting the gearbox rebuilt. I looked up the part, and I think the shaft itself is $100. I could probably tear it apart. I don't know. I'm going to look at it a little more. Clearly, I got to take it off anyways. And if it's something I think I can tackle easily, and depending on a price that they give me, if you're building it there, but sometimes it's just better to let the professionals. I'm not necessarily ever against the challenge of taking stuff apart. I mean, that's kind of been my mechanical ability for a long time with how do you make things work. And, well, you take them apart, figure out how they're put together, and, but not having a great environment to do that in. Which, although we did clear out that one shed, so got that reorganized, I could probably make a little makeshift workbench in there and break it apart. Because that's my thing, is having a...
What little shed?
Our garage shed.
Oh. Well, we just refilled it back up though.
Well, but there is some room in there. What I'm saying is there's room in there. I could make a temporary little table set up and tear that box apart possibly in between the 19 other projects. So at this point, it's like, if I get it off and get it apart, take it to somebody that can rebuild it.
Well, maybe Hirsch can help us out with that too.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying was when I get the cylinders off the backhoe, which I'm torn on how I want to do that yet even because I love having the backhoe on the back of the tractor. One, just because, hey, it's already mounted if I needed to use it. But in this point right now, it's really just counterweight. And knowing that we're going to be wanting to move some blocks and stuff like that, I really need the counterweight so that the tractor doesn't dip forward. Because having the bolt-on forks that just mount to the bucket, you really lose your weight capacity because you're moving that lifting fulcrum way out and makes it a little more tipsy. So
we'll get there. There's just always
Yeah.
something.
there's all kinds of little things, but I'm glad to have the tractor back up and running again.
Yeah.
You know, or drivable. And I think I don't remember. Did we tell him like I've been having starting problems with the tractor for a little while too. Like some days it just would really turn over.
I think
slow.
we talked about
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm.
And it ended up just being a body ground. So.
Oh, but something really exciting happened yesterday. Oh, I probably shouldn't spill those beans though. Because that is probably going to be footage we'll need for Saturday's video.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much of the video, like, I don't think you can make a whole video out of it.
Well, no, I'm not planning on it. I said part of the video for
Yeah.
Saturday.
Um,
I won't spill those beans quite yet.
oh, she was trying though, y'all. You heard her. She was like, ooh, I need to talk. Tell me what's going on. But you couldn't spill them beans.
No.
But yeah, so, but now that the tractor's up, I guess that's where I was going with that whole thing, with the tractor being up. I do have some spots that I need to finish cleaning up, hence the bonfire, right? Need wood for it. Because we did, when Zach and Holly were down with the grandbabies, we had a pretty big bonfire and
Having two other strapping young men here to help.
burned off a lot of the sawmill scraps that were piled up over there. And we got almost the entire pile done. Now there is some more. So my idea is to go over, scoop up some of the smaller stuff with the bucket. Get that done. There's a couple other spots that I need to use just the bucket. And then I've got to go and put the forks back on.
So what he's saying is that he's going to have some tractor therapy. Well, Danielle and I have some thrifting therapy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't mind doing the thrifting thing, but it's one of those that, I don't know, it just seems, you know.
Actually, you may have to go, because what she wants is kind of rather big.
Yeah, like the two of you aren't going to be able to, like, can you help me load this?
No, it's about transport.
Oh, so you're saying you need the truck. Well, I mean, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
If I go, I go.
Maybe
If I
we'll
don't,
go, and then if we find what it is, then
we can go back into town and...
my baby dog
What?
be done.
You look, you don't get any room to holler at her for being loud for drinking.
Why?
You've made all the extra background noise. I know you're prepping our food, but it's no different.
I just love being compared to a dog. Ain't it like it's soothing to your core, right? Just makes you feel wonderful about yourself.
Oh, whatever, lady.
Yeah, so this is my whole wheat honey sandwich bread. And oh,
It is delicious. It's going to make awesome French toast.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
But, yeah, so getting some stuff cleaned up. Still always trying to... I don't really want to call it necessarily beautification, right? Because we're not making anything pretty
Cleaning
yet.
up.
But just cleaning up, getting things put away. We've had our little test of winter so far, and kind of realizing that, okay, there's a lot more things that I need to get done and get prepped and get ready before actual winter hits. Luckily, luckily, we don't really get our worst weather till January, February time frame. So I do have a little bit of time, but there are things that I want to try to get cleared up. And it's funny because somebody had put a comment on one of the videos yesterday and was like, hey, take all them leaves and throw them in the flower or in your raised beds.
And I do.
Right. Well, because I've been going crazy every time I go out for chores and I'm like, I need to just get the leaf blower. The only annoying thing for me is, which it works, right? It's just me being needy, is my leaf blower is one of those, I got that big rigid vacuum from Home Depot. And so the leaf blower is the motor part of that, so it comes off. So it's a 2-for-1 tool, which is awesome, but it's corded. And so you gotta, you're at the restriction of where do you drag extension cords and how far could you go. And around here I found it was a lot easier that luckily we have the battery banks. And I can just throw a battery bank in the back of the side-by-side, kind of drive it around the areas. And I was going to blow all those leaves over the hill and just to get rid of them because I'm like, one, they look ugly, but I think I do like the idea of just cleaning them up. The trick is, I can't do it. That is one task that will for sure throw my back out, and neither one of us can afford for me to be laying in bed for a week. So,
no.
Yeah, the challenge is, and I was actually...
Do you want to talk about the man flu?
Well, when you can't walk because every time you try to bend, you can't breathe. It's a little more.
It's the whole part of it. It's the whole expression when you have the man flu.
But well, my back going out isn't man flu though.
But
But yeah, so that's and actually I was talking to Jenna about that yesterday because I had moved a couple brush piles when Zach and them were here. And it dropped some pieces off, right, when I was driving the tractor. And I'm like, I really need to get that stuff cleaned up. But, yeah, that task of repetitively bending over and picking stuff off the ground, which seems so stupid and trivial, but it's one of those lesson learned. And I know a lot of you have questioned, right, with my VA disability and that kind of stuff, and not getting into all of it because... Well, quite frankly, it's not everybody in public's business so what's going on, but those are some taskers that I know that are ridiculous because they're super lightweight tasks. It's not like I'm lifting up boulders. I'm lifting up sticks and twigs and, raking with a leap. But, yeah, our rakes are decorations unless somebody with a good bat comes by. And
I've never been a fan of raking leaves anyway. It's actually healthier for them just to stay on the ground. Hence, people even saying pick them up, put them in that tubs, which I do. I've never been a fan of raking. That's an American aesthetic that you got to have that cultured, manicured yard. No, nature knows what it's doing.
Well, it does,
it
but
drops the leaves, and I don't mind them. He minds them because of probably living on military bases and having to have your yard clean and whatnot.
Well, for me,
I don't care. I like the natural.
So that is a twofold. Yes, I do like it being cleaned up, right? And maybe it's just that, like you said, it's that whole ingrained in you, right? Your yard should look good. You mow your grass, you do all this stuff. But that does serve a purpose. When you look at it, is if you at least immediately around your house and your living structures, because if you leave those leaves on there. One, it will take time for them to fully break down. If you're not mowing them or mulching them up or anything like that, like if our yard was mowable with a regular mower, that would be a different story. I would all about. That's what I did when we were up north. Was I didn't initially I blew them off into the woods, but after I got the yard where I could actually run the lawnmower over it, I just mulched them up with a lawnmower, and it was way better for the grass. And if you were to see that yard today, it is gorgeous, right? Because we just kept shooting the grass shavings. But the other part is bugs. If you don't keep your grass and the leaves and stuff removed from around your home, you're promoting bugs and snakes and all those creepy crawlies that everyone seems to freak out about away from, they're less likely to come in your house because there's going to be an open space between where those stop. And so, yeah, I am a proponent of leaving the leaves out in the forestry areas, where we haven't cleared and stuff. Absolutely. Leave them out there. Let them decompose. They turn back into soil. That's great. But if you can chop them up and, mulch them up and whatnot, it's actually better. They become a better fertilizer and putting more nutrients a lot quicker because it'll take quite a while for an actual leaf to break down.
One season.
Yeah. But if you mulch it, it's that much faster. But it does keep the bugs and the critters and all that away from your home if you clear them. So
that was a long explanation to get to the bugs.
Well, it was, but I think that it was owed in the fact that it, I don't know.
But there was a time when, the U.S. government even promoted turning your front yard into a garden. Remember Victory Gardens, guys? They even gave away pressure canners. The USDA gave away pressure canners. And then it went back to, have the manicured, cultured yard. Spend your only day off on Saturday, husbands, mowing your yard. That takes all day.
How much of that was based on that theory, and how much of it was based because it was a way, that was how they were able to, there was food shortages, there was food rationing. So if
that's what I'm saying, but this cultured, manicured yard BS came about sometime after that. You didn't see Mom and Pa Ingalls planting a bunch of grass around Little House on the Prairie. But
but they also had animals that...
I'm eating my Smoky Mountain Farms black raspberry syrup.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, we talk about some of that when we drive around, right? You see these yards, you see these properties that they have multiple acres, right? Even if it's just their front yard. It's a huge front yard, their house sits in the back, and it's, that picture perfect. But they have 1 to 2 acres of just grass they have to mow. And they're like, yeah, it takes me an entire day or 2 days or whatever. If you're spending that much time on your mower, that means you have enough property and land that you need to just put up some fencing, which is cheaper than buying that mower anyways, and then put some animals on it to graze it, which are going to fertilize it. They're going to make it look a whole lot better, and then you can eat the animals later. And if you're a vegetarian, still do it. I mean, I know they'll be eating your food, but you can sell it off, and then it's a profitable thing in the end. But yeah, and we've talked about that with the planning of our place is I don't want huge strips of area that are going to take me an entire day to mow. Even though I love mowing, it doesn't, if I have an area big enough that it's going to take me an entire day just to mow that one area.
That's a waste of time.
Right. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of fuel. It's a waste of everything. Fence it off, put an animal on there to let it graze, and away you go. But the areas that we do have, the small strips and the small sections, it's one of those that, hey, I can get it done in an hour, maybe 2. And be ready. Plus it lets the entrance to your place. I mean, who doesn't enjoy having people come visit and when they pull in and they're like, ooh, this is beautiful. Which
is fine up there.
Yeah, and I think that's most of our grass and any area that's going to be there is literally along our driveway. It'll be our ditch line and along what's coming down the driveway. Once you get down around the house, whatever grass grows. Mm-hmm. I'll probably spend more time with a weed whipper going around and, edging it than I would with a mower.
But we said we weren't going to make this long, and look what happened.
So good.
We're going to finish our breakfast and get on with our day. I've got to go out to the summer kitchen and grab a few things that I put together for this. And I need to get on that table. And then if you'll go up to the Nugget and grab me the sheets and bedding,
yeah,
I can get those started getting washed and ready for Danielle.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks.
We'll see ya. Bye now.
Bye. I don't think.
I don't know.